Funny story behind this lawnmower. I was headed today to pick up 2 Toro Pro Line 21s. I love Toro 21-inch lawnmowers. It's what I've used for 20 plus years. And these two didn't run. They both had the Kawasaki 4-stroke on them, very good engine. And so as I'm driving out to pick these up, I spotted this on the side of the road. Guys just wheeling it out, and said, "Hey, you giving that away?" He goes, "Yeah. You know, my sister or somebody had it stored and didn't have fuel in it, and he got it because he needed a lawnmower, but he didn't like it because it was 2-stroke." Which, okay. Anyway, I got it and brought it to work, and I put fuel in it, and I said, "I know this thing's gonna start," and fired up on the 3rd pull. The only problem, it's not even a problem, the only issue is that broken primer bulb. Right there, dried out. I went to prime it and it broke into 6 pieces. But you don't even need it. This engine's so tight, it doesn't even need it. I'm gonna replace it because it needs to be replaced, but if you don't know about these 2-stroke Suzuki, the only difference, I mean, today this would be a commercial lawnmower. Back in the 80s and 90s, this was a consumer one. The commercial ones had a thicker deck, steel ball bearing wheels, and a bigger fuel tank. And the deck may have been thicker too. I've had them, but the engine's the same. And they're just fantastic. They run great. I love 2-stroke engines. They're just awesome. I did clean it up, and this thing was hardly used. Look at that paint, it's perfect. Typically you get a lot of corrosion back in here. All this paint just peels right off the aluminum, all around these bolts. I mean, these screw heads, it always oxidizes. This thing was hardly used. I cleaned up the wheels. I said, well, it was dirty from sitting, but I figured it was, blade would be dull, but the blade's brand new. It's got a perfect edge on it. Just a little dirty under there. Still has all the recycler baffles. Mikuni carb, Japanese carburetor. Not self-propelled, it's push. Came with the plug, the blocker plate, and the bag. It says deluxe power drive. This one obviously isn't, and that's good. That's fine. I have my self-propelled one. The self-propelled is in there, usually under a plastic cover, and it's belt drive off the crank. But I'll fire it up. Choke. I mean, that's the thing I miss on new lawnmowers. None of them have throttles anymore. So, not dropping my phone. Down perfect. What a nice running engine. Just a nice smooth engine. I mean, I haven't pulled the muffler, but it's got great compression. I'm not the slightest bit worried about that. So I called the guy I was gonna buy from, and I told him, "Well, hey man, I'm sorry. You blame me?" So literally the right place at the right time. It's a great lawnmower. I get a lot of stuff that I sell. I am definitely not selling this one. It's way too clean. It's basically brand new. As to the year, the safety tag says 90, but it could be newer than that, or it could be a 90, or it could be an 89. The way you find that out is by Toro's website. It's pretty good for looking up the model and serial number. Doesn't have a dealer tag. Maybe it did at some point. Usually they put them right behind that safety tag or on the recoil on the fuel tank. But I don't see one. sometimes on the air filter cover there. So I suppose this could have been bought at a box store, but you know, where I live, those didn't show up until early 90s. So chances are this came from a dealer. Toro for years was dealer only. But just a real nice lawnmower. It's nice and solid. It's perfect. I can't wait to use it. My grass is high. And I'm gonna lower those wheels. The only fault on these, and that was the other thing the commercials did better. If you had one of these lawnmowers back then, and I had a ton of them, it'll wear out in here because this is a hardened steel pin, and these detents are just obviously cast aluminum. It's hard, but if you have a particularly bumpy lawn, or if you're like me, I was doing 6-8 lawns a week with mine. They wear out. The commercial ones had a steel plate with detents in it, and they didn't wear out. These would wear out. So what I would do was I'd pick a height that I like, generally C or D, and I would just self-tap them in, and that would be it. You're committed to it. I don't have to worry about this, and I mean this thing will last forever for me. So pretty excited. Look at that. You know, chrome muffler cover, all steel, or aluminum. You know, with the exception of a few parts. Really well made, and it's light too. I mean, you know, I know the name of my channel is New Stuff Sucks, and you know, by and large, unfortunately, it's true. Bag's hardly been used. Pretty cool.